Hi guys, so yeah, filming on my mobile today, so hopefully it comes out all right. Just had this real spontaneous feeling to make this video because it's so important to talk about it. But as usual, if you're new here guys, please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share. This information is so important. It needs to get out to as many people as possible. For me, right now, there's not one more important thing than just working out what we're going to do when we leave this clown world. And I don't mean that morbidly. I'm not trying to be depressed or anything like that. It's just the way I see it. You know, we've probably been stuck here for thousands of lifetimes, and we've been blinded by the false white light tunnel at death, met with probably countless spirit guides, Jesus, Buddha, whatever we've believed in previous lives. And then the real issue is that they wipe our memory on the way back down. So anything that we would have learned in these previous lifetimes, we forget. So who knows how far we've come in the journey of truth in previous lifetimes. It's kind of weird to think about it, really. All I know is where we are in this lifetime. And there is positive in all of this, because I believe strongly that this is our last incarnation. If you're watching this information or information like it, I think this is really where the gold is in terms of how we're going to get out, how we're going to escape this control, this soul lure system. It lures the soul back into the system. And I think we're at the point now where we have enough knowledge to get out of here. But a lot of people still get triggered around the false white light, particularly, you know, when I'm talking about people, deceased loved ones showing up at the end, or, you know, false gods and that kind of thing. We have to let go of these attachments, no matter how hard that might be. Although at some level we might be connected, this is very much about our own journeys, and our family members, they have their own journeys as well. And we can put information in front of them, but it's down to their free will to look at it, use it, take it on board. So it's really important that we disconnect from the things that hold us to this matrix construct. And I've got to give a shout out to Forever Conscious Network channel, because I've learned a lot from him, and I will link his YouTube channel in the description today. And he does a great job of breaking down near-death experiences and even pre-birth experiences. And everyone experiences the same thing. They don't want to come back down. They get convinced, they get lured back in, they get guilt tripped, they get karma used against them, and all the BS that, you know, I've touched on in other videos. But the reason that I wanted to make this video is because it's to do with the energy of the false white light grid. Now, many of you will know, if you've watched previous content, that I speak often of people, especially these new age leaders, tapping into the false white light grid and using that on their followers, maybe intentionally or not intentionally. It depends on the person. My previous video on Amanda Ellis was a prime example of that, because as I mentioned in that video, I could feel myself coming under that kind of false high frequency when I was watching it, which is I'm fully aware of that now. I've experienced it. I know it deeply, and it is like being drugged, right? It feels like, and I've said before, you know, if you've ever taken an ecstasy tablet, it feels very much like that, where you go into this kind of like fake bliss, and there's the inevitable crash, maybe even the same day or a day later or a couple of days later. There always comes the crash. But at the time, it just feels like the most amazing thing. It feels like love. It feels like connection. It feels, I mean, it feels great. And as humans, that's what we want most of all. We want to feel like we belong. We want to feel love. We want to feel connection. And through our trauma, to feel that is rare. You know, a lot of people grew up in toxic families where they were abused or emotionally abused or abandoned. So when you feel that, it makes you feel all gooey inside. This is why there is so much cognitive dissonance amongst people that are stuck in the New Age cult, because they have got addicted to that spiritual high. I've made other videos where I actually talk about the New Age spiritual scene being an addiction for some people, whereby they will gravitate from one false high to another false high to another false high. And although in the long term it feels like they're not getting further forward, because they're not, short term it's like taking those ecstasy tablets. So literally people are energetically drugged up on this false white light energy that's coming through New Age teachings. Now, the reason why it's so important to understand this energy is because, and watching the Forever Conscious reviews has really made me realize this, which triggered me making this video, is that it appears when people are having these NDEs and they're going to the light, or God's appearing, or whatever, however they're trying to lure the soul back, it very much appears that they are using this frequency, this false white light energy frequency. So the people that are experiencing the NDEs are feeling just an absolute sense of bliss and love and connection and everything that I've just mentioned. And this seems to be a really strong way that they hook people back in like fish. Because, yeah, living in these human bodies, we're very much detached from all of that. Whether or not we were put here by design or what have you, it's hard to feel those things. And it appears that this soul trap system, this AI God that I think's behind everything, uses this false white light grid energy to give people these spiritual highs. And Forever Conscious on his channel, he calls it the love bombing. And I think that's a great term. I think he nails it with that term, because that's exactly what it is. We die, we get shown the false light. Not only are we getting manipulated by every different angle, by all our weaknesses, by karma and everything else they're trying to hook us back in on, they use this energy grid. So the soul or the consciousness feels this incredible high. And that appears to be very difficult for these people to leave. If you watch the channel, and I will be doing some of these reviews myself, because I think it's important that the word gets out there on what's going on after death. But if you watch these videos, that they don't want to leave. They don't want to leave that feeling of complete bliss, of complete love, and whatever other terms that they use, even though it's false, even though it's an energy grid which is not, I don't even like using the word of the, not even of the true light, but of what we can really experience. So I think upon death, we have to be really wary that not only are those other things going to be used against us, but we might get love bombed. We might get love bombed by the false white light energy grid. So it's something to be aware of. It's something that needs to be discussed. Of course, everyone has their free will to do what they want to do and go where they want to go. But it seems to be a common theme over and over and over again in watching these videos that this is what's going on. People are being energetically love bombed, and that is helping them to convince and coerce people to come back down. And so there's kind of reassurance in that with these people, in the fact that they've experienced something which they feel is profound, and in a way it is, but it's just an inversion. And so now what's happening is these people are coming back from their NDEs and they're parroting all of this. And this is why it's so important that we combat that and break these videos down. Because they're parroting the Matrix's agenda on death to people living here. So when people die, they're going to go through this process, and it's going to be like almost like a recognition from what they've heard down here from people that have had the same experience. And of course, it's all deception. It's all part of the way they trap the soul back down here. So this false white light grid is something that some new agers can tap into here in 3D, probably just with intention, which is what Reiki is. I've done a whole video on Reiki being part of the false white light grid, that when you connect with the energy of Reiki, that's what you're connecting into. You're connecting into this euphoric false high energy grid, which inevitably, and I've experienced it myself, a day, 2 days after, there's normally some kind of crash, or you think that one of your chakras is out of balance and you didn't spend enough time on your crown chakra or your root chakra or something like that, and something's just off. I mean, the amount of people that have approached me and told me and emailed me down the years that something felt off about Reiki, so they didn't do it, or they had their attunements but they didn't feel it was right to use it. Well, that's your intuition, that's your inner knowing, realizing that. So yeah, the love bomb, the false white light energy grid, and like I say, it's really important that we're careful in what content that we're watching, even on YouTube. You know, if you start watching someone that's working with false light, it can affect you the way it affected me when I watched Amanda Ellis's video. But luckily enough, I know that, I recognize that frequency, and I felt it more or less straight away. So yeah, it's a thing, guys. Love bombing, false white light grid, something to be aware of. And like I say, I'm not fear mongering. If anything, it's empowering. And if anything, right, it's kind of exciting, because this is probably our last time around here, unless we really mess up. I mean, unless all of a sudden you turn to religion or something like that at the last turn, or but it's really important to let all these attachments go, and you can care and love for people, and while you're here, and you can put the truth in front of them. But when that time comes, you got to let go of everything, from what I can understand. So yeah, I think it's actually quite an exciting time, because probably this is the last time round, thank God, for most of us. And yeah, it's important to try and enjoy as much of it as you can while you're here. As crazy as this clown world is, you got to laugh at it, because if you don't, you'll go crazy. And yeah, find the joy in it. It's not all bad. I mean, overall it's bad, and there's a lot of evil here, But enjoy your family, enjoy your friends, enjoy your hobbies. If you've got a loved one, enjoy them, enjoy your pets, enjoy nature. And lately I've been thinking, like yesterday I was on the beach and I was like, you know, this planet's beautiful. Like here where I am, it's beautiful. And I'm like, no, in a way it'd be sad to say goodbye to all this beauty, but there'll be beauty in other worlds and other experiences, I'm sure. So yeah, I'm feeling like kind of relaxed in the fact that I feel like we've got enough knowledge to get out of here now. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's always learning, we can always go deeper. And there might be more to this, and I'm sure there will be this, the light tunnel and everything like that. But I just really wanted to highlight the point of the love bomb and the false white light. So guys, if you found this helpful, please like, comment and share. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Take care. Oh, by the way, there's a fake YouTube account on that's sending people like a WhatsApp number. That's a fake account, it's not me. So if you see that or someone tries to contact you, please can you report that? And also guys, just a bit of housekeeping before I go. Please subscribe to my YouTube backup channel, my BitChute, Odyssey, Telegram. I'm on my Instagrams now. I'm not shadow banned at the moment, because I never know how long I'm going to be up here. And another review channel got taken down recently, so it's important that, you know, we do that in case I get taken off here. So all right guys, you take care. Bye now.